Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be finally installing a new shift lever. I bought this from Summit Racing before I even bought this car. So it's been about 2.5 weeks. This thing finally arrived. I have gauges, my steering wheel's already installed. I've got a bunch of other stuff in here, but my most anticipated piece took forever. I hate when that happens. But yeah, in today's video, we're going to be installing this new Hurst shift lever and a new Hurst shift boot, and I'm going to show you how to correctly install a shift boot. I know there's a lot of installation videos out there, but I'm going to show you how to do it the correct way. So first we have to start by removing the OEM setup that I have here currently. This is a special OEM style, but it's for a Tremec 5-speed, which is what I have here in this vehicle. I have my dash all taken apart because I do have new gauges coming in. But right now, I'm just going to use this. This actually happens to be a 13 millimeter. I just happen to have this in my car. So I'm going to unscrew this existing shifter. So I'm going to finish getting this off of my car and we'll get the new one on. Well, I just unscrewed this and it worked great, except for my wrench fell through the hole and is now underneath the middle of the vehicle. So I'm gonna have to see if Caleb can reach under there and get it. But yeah, I got this off. This is actually going on eBay. I just don't really want this style. I think it's nice, it's beautiful. All the rubber's perfect, but it's just not my style. I've been really wanting the Hurst setup, and I'll show you guys that here shortly. Finally. Oh man, I'm so excited to get this in the car and see how it feels. It is a much shorter shifter, and I'm going to put this on here. This shifter means a lot to me. I don't know if you watched my previous channels, but oh, thanks buddy, I'm glad you got that wrench. So my buddy Paul in his fastback had a Hurst T-handle shifter just like this. He didn't have the button here, but I really wanted to have that shifter. I mean, I really wanted to have his fastback, but obviously that wasn't in the cards, unfortunately. But at least now I have this Hurst shifter, and I wanted this just because he had one and I absolutely loved it. So I'm glad I have this. It'd be cool if I could actually get his original shifter, but I don't think any of that is possible. But thank goodness I finally have this set up. Time to get it in the car. All right. It's definitely shorter than the other one, but that's what I wanted. So let's see how it feels. This button is just in case I felt like doing something crazy in the future. Maybe a line lock. Maybe nitrous. I can't make it around another rotation, so I'll have to work on that. But there we are. Oh, I like it. Oh, that feels so much better. Oh, I love it. Can't wait to take it for a drive. All right, so that's done. It's getting dark and it's a Monday. It was a long day. So I'm gonna have to finish up the boot a different day. All right, here we are inside the Mustang. Caleb's here hanging out with me. I just have some blue lock thread, and I'm gonna put a little dab on these threads. Oh, and it came out pretty fast. Well, hopefully you can see this okay. It is pretty dark in here, but the correct way to install, well, actually there's two ways you can really install a shifter. I do not have one of those shift nuts. I forget what they're actually called, but there is a specific nut that can go in underneath the shifter so you can tighten it down. I bought this little shifter on eBay and it didn't include that, so I don't have one of those. So I'm just using some blue Loctite, which is the removable type. So there's the adapter here. So I've got it on the outside of the adapter there. And now I'll have to do a little bit on the inside of the adapter. And then I'll probably have to let this sit for 24 hours, which isn't a problem. I don't really have anywhere to go tonight. We'll see how far it goes. All right, so that's the end. So I'll just back it off a little bit, and hopefully the Loctite gets it firm overnight. There. I like it right there, so I'm not going to touch it the rest of the night, and tomorrow I will check on it and see if that's solid. Well, unfortunately, that didn't hold. I let the Loctite sit for 24 hours, and I was out just driving, and I shifted and it broke loose. So I'm going to use this nut and lock washer instead, which is not the end of the world, because this might actually allow me to keep it a little bit higher, which I just said in a clip. I don't know if it'll make it into the final edit, but again, I said I wish that it was just a little bit higher. So with this, I could make this in a better position, exactly where I want it. Yeah, that already actually feels better. It's sitting up a little bit higher. I'll have a nut there, which kind of sucks, but I don't know if I'll even feel it. Yeah, it'll be fine. Maybe I can even go a little bit higher. Let's see how high. How many threads are on here? Oh, there's quite a few threads.
Daddy, I don't know where my other sock is.
Okay, I think Mommy has it. All right, so we'll do a few turns. That sounds good. Then I'll tighten that down. Yeah, I think that feels just a little bit higher. I like that position. So I'll have to go get a wrench and tighten that down. Yeah. And at least this way too, when I have a locking nut there, I could always adjust it easier later if I want to. With the Loctite, once it breaks, you gotta redo it or do something different. Yeah, that feels good. We put it into fifth. Yeah, I like that. So here we are in the Mustang. Caleb's in the back seat, and this is my very first drive with my new shifter, new shift lever. This isn't mounted yet. That'll be the next time when I have some more free time. But first drive with the shifter and the steering wheel and my new push button start. This is finally getting to the point where I really wanted to have it. I think this is going to feel awesome. But here we go. This is the first drive. Can't wait to feel it all together. So first, turn the key on. The green light comes on for my little push button start. Start it right up. Oh man, I love the way that shifter feels. Here we go, Caleb.
Yay.
The gauge is still out because I'm working on getting all my gauges and getting them put together. Maybe I'll be able to do some of that tonight. We'll see. I love the steering wheel. I think it feels awesome. Oh, I love that shifter.
Did you push the button?
Well, the button doesn't do anything yet, but I just pushed it. Oh man, I love this. And I'll think of my buddy Paul when I use this shifter, because he had the same one, minus the button, in his car. Oh, and with the steering wheel, in the steering wheel video, it does click quite a bit, but it's not annoying enough to take the steering wheel off for an 8th time and try to screw around with it. I think I'm gonna live with it, especially with the car being so loud that I don't really hear it clicking that often. So far it's not annoying me. I reserve the right to change my mind, but for now I think it's okay. So here we go. I finally have time to get this boot correctly installed. It's just been flopping around for a week now, unfortunately. The steering wheel took me entirely too long and ate up most of my free time this week. So here I am, finally getting to this. First off, you're gonna wanna put the transmission all the way into 5th or 3rd, whatever you have that's furthest away from you, because you wanna get the boot in the correct position. So I've got it there. For example, if I bring it down here and you center it down here, it's not gonna look right when you go all the way up to 5th. Trust me, just put it in 5th or your furthest gear that's away from you. So now that we got that, I am going to lift off this trim bezel. It's stainless steel, it just happens to be covered in some white protective film. So we'll put that to the side for now. Then just lift it up as high as you can. And now I'm gonna put the bezel back down and around. So we'll do some more double checking, make sure it is centered and everything, but we're gonna use that as a template and we're gonna cut out with a nice new sharp razor the carpet on the inside of this bezel. Because the thing that most people do incorrectly is they just mount this on top of the carpet. And that's not how it's really done. You want this rubber boot to seal any gases from coming up through here and into your cabin. So having this rubber down here underneath the carpet, then you have the carpet, then you have the trim plate. It also will hopefully keep the trim plate from bending, because when you're screwing it in, we don't want to have it bent and disformed or anything. It'll look ugly. And then to seal underneath this, you don't have to, but I'm going to use some 3M strip caulk and just put a little line around that, and that'll seal this up, and hopefully we won't really get any gases up through here. Okay, so I've got that in there. I still have to do a little trimming though. This side wasn't quite straight. My razor wasn't quite as sharp as I thought it was. So I'm gonna have to probably get some really good scissors and just try to get a nice straight line and nice curve right around there.
Hi.
Hey, so it's me and Caleb in here. It is another really hot one, but we're in here sweating it out. So I've got this all cut out and it looks like it's gonna fit pretty good. I know it looks a little ragged, but the trim is going to cover that up. If not, I can trim it back just a little bit. So now I'll remove this, get some 3M strip caulk on the bottom side here, and I'm going to use these stainless steel screws. I'm going to use one here, side, top, and side, right there in the middle. So that'll hold the boot down, and then I'll use the longer ones to go in the corners. It does come with some, but they're kind of big, and I'm not sure I'm going to use those. I think I'm going to use all these self-tapping screws. I almost forgot to run my wire, so I've got my future potential nitrous switch wire coming through here, and it's going to go underneath the boot, and I'm going to run it underneath the carpet and have it pop out back there somewhere. Okay, I just ran this wire up there, made a little slit up there with my razor, and just poked through some regular household electrical wire. And I'm gonna pull this straight on through, so then that'll be up there and kind of out of my way, and it'll be there when I'm ready to use it. We're getting there, Caleb. It's almost done. So the next step is just screw in this trim bezel, and once it's down flat, I think it'll look pretty good. I can see a little bit of the white cushioning under there, so I might just take a black marker and touch that so it just doesn't catch your eye. But we're moving along, and well, there it is. Installation went fine, other than me sweating my butt off because it's so hot out here. But I think that's a nice clean install. I didn't actually tap that with any black paint. I mean, I can later, but... oh yeah, forgot to lift that up. There we go. And it looks nicely centered. This carpet did end up bubbling here a little bit. I think it's okay. If it ever bothers me, I could take this apart, bring it up a little bit more, and then trim off just a little bit more of the carpet, but I think it's fine. And then I've got my wires ran up here for the next adventure. Yeah, I know. Sweaty mess. Hey, Caleb. So we're all set, Caleb. It's all installed. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope that helped you guys. I've seen it installed incorrectly so many times, and that is the right way to do it. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.